Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. May I start this sharing with a question to the floor. Will any one of you feel so sure about your life, what you want to do, in what direction you're heading, and with the ways you are heading towards it? Can anyone just put up your hands and say so, if you are so sure about your life? Okay, put up, please. 1, 2, 3. Okay, good. So few. What about the elderly? Okay. Do you want to be sure? Okay. Try to imagine your life when you really feel sure in the direction you're moving, in where you are, in where you're heading, and how to reach there. Is it this very important for our life? This I call vision. This clear vision is so important to us. It means so much to us. In times of difficulty, in times of uncertainty, in times of vicissitudes of life, if you have that vision in you, if you feel sure about your direction, where you are heading, that gives you a sense of strength to overcome, to face, to conquer whatever obstacles, challenges that come your way. This vision is very important. Once you have that in your mind, it will be a strength, inner strength in you that drive you onwards day by day in that direction, and be fierce towards walking towards the unknown. There will still be a lot of unknown, but if you have that light in you, a sense of vision, a clear vision in you, your life will be no more the same. You'll be different. I put up my hands just now, and I really feel thankful to the Buddha for giving me that certainty. And I wanted to share with you how to find this mission, this vision. And when with the vision, it comes with mission as well. But vision comes first. We always see before we walk towards it. We always see ahead of our steps. So this seeing is important, this vision is important. Only after we see, we reach, we move towards it. So this vision is important. And let Dhamma help us with this vision. During the Buddha's time, very often the Buddha gave a progressive teaching. Tell us about how we can do good giving dana, and then giving, and then observing morality, and developing concentration and wisdom, and telling us about different aspects of life, expanding our worldview. Telling us there's a possibility there are these beings called celestial beings, heavenly beings, and then these Brahmas, and then these Arupa Brahmas, beings without a body, only the mind. And telling us the possibility that we can be free from this cycle of birth and death. What did the Buddha mean when he did that and present the Dhamma in such a way? He actually wanted to show us the possibilities of life. Quite a few times when we talk about life, when we discuss about life among friends, someone told me, Bande, isn't it true that life is cruel? It is a life, the law of the jungle, the survival of the fittest, rule, hold sway. Why don't we just surrender to it, just flow with the game? Flow with the rule. There's no way you can change it. Survival of the fittest. So be the strongest and take advantage of the weakest and then triumph. Make the best out of our life, regardless of what happened to others. Because this is a cruel world. Survival of the, look at the animal worlds. The lion will eat up the wolf, eat up the jackals, elephants. The strong will bully the weak. Isn't this happen to a human world as well? And I told him, what you understand about nature is only what within this realm we call human and animals. But is there no higher possibility? I told them, a few times people ask this question, not one person. I said, in the Buddha's teaching, the Buddha has opened up our vision that life is not only this. We are capable of higher potential and higher possibilities. We don't need to be bound by these limited possibilities that we have to struggle. We study the I Ching, the book of change. If you study Tao, the book of change teaches how to play the game of the human world so that we win, we don't lose, so that we triumph. But that is only, no matter how good it shows, it only shows the way to play the game in human world. But the Buddha told us the higher possibility. The understanding, after we know the Dhamma, our understanding about space change. It's no more only this three-dimension world. There are higher beings and there are lower beings. Lower beings, we have ghosts, we have asuras, animals, and then we have the hell. This is true, this is verifiable. This is no fiction, no legends. This is real, verifiable, can be proven, but not by scientific instrument, not the material instrument, by the mind instrument, the mind power. So these are the possibilities. We can go lower. If we are not careful, we can go lower. Then we can go higher as well. There are heavenly beings. We have the various, we call sensual beings, Jatumarajika, Devas, Tavatimsa Deva, Yama Devas, Tusita Devas, Imanarati Devas, Paranimita Vasavati Devas, and then Brahmas. First jhana, second jhana, third jhana Brahma. Fourth jhana Brahma. Depends how you classify it. So these are the possibilities. Then there are Arupa Brahmas as well. You can be, there's a being you call neither perception nor non-perception, which live a long, long life. In the Dhamma, the Buddha shows the wide spectrum of possibilities for life. And the wonderful thing is that there is a mobility between these realms. Mobility. That means one life can be reborn in another life, in another realm, and interchangeable. Based on our own karma, our own good karma and bad karma. We go up and down. Of course, there's a whole science about it. There's a whole science about these things. Verifiable. Can be proven by empirical. They are empirical. So, these are the possibilities. And then, how to know? You may ask, Pandya, how are you so sure? We say, we are very sure. How can we know? The Buddha not only tell us something to believe, the Buddha show us the way to prove it, to know for ourselves. Because belief is not so strong, not so reliable in the Buddha's teaching. Faith is important, but we don't go by faith alone. It is the science, it is the direct insight, direct seeing, direct knowing that is more worthy. So very often you find in the text, when they say, there is someone who has attained the first stage of sainthood, Sotapan. Then the text will say, now it has gone beyond, the faith is no longer dependent upon outside. Self-reliant faith. Because you see, right? When you see whatever you see, do you need to believe? You don't need to believe. Through the practice of virtues, concentration, and wisdom. How it works like that? When we keep virtues, we practice virtues, the gross defilements are very much overcome, very much removed by practicing virtues. We guard our speech, we guard our action, and we keep up the Varita Sila, abstain from the wrong things. We keep up the Charita Sila, we fulfill what we need to fulfill, what the duties. And then, and the Sutanta Sila, we keep up the virtues of contentment, fewness of wishes, and then uprightness, capability, and softness of heart, humility, and all these qualities, forgiveness, magnanimity. And with this foundation, our mind is in the position to calm down, to focus on a higher level. So that is then concentration comes in. The Buddha in the Mahasatipatthana Sutta explained Samma Samadhi, all the 8 Noble Eightfold Path. But with that, in the concentration part, the Buddha said, you can practice up to first jhana, second jhana, third jhana, and fourth jhana. With that, what is it so important? Because of the light of wisdom. We have the inner light. If we cultivate this light that shines from our mind, can see beyond the superficial, beyond the surface. We can see up to the ultimate realities. We can see to the past and future. This is no fantasy, this is real. Our human mind, we have the potential to do it, to prove it. So when we develop that, for example, when you do metta practice, okay? Sabbe Sata, Sabbe Pana, right? When you hear to they put in the songs. When I went to China, even to Tianjin, somewhere else, they like that Pali produced in Malaysia, right? I think the metta chants. It went worldwide. So, do we understand Sabbe Sata? All beings. So when you come in the metta practice, really you do it properly, Sabbe Sata, you really shine your light. All out, ups and downs. To all these beings, so that you don't, it's not as imagination anymore. It's not imagining, you send your metta to someone else, imagining is there. No. Really, you see them, they are there. And Vinipatika, Sabbe Vinipatika, these lower beings, you really see these lower beings suffering. So in this way, you practice metta, karuna, mudita, upeka. I'm sure you know, family and the Pali, loving kindness, compassion, appreciative joy, and equanimity. So when you do a practice like that, then you know, actually, there are these other beings, you see for yourself. And then later you may realize that you yourself have gone through various realms. When you can see that, oh, I've gone through these realms. Some of our yogis, they were, so many times they were from the Brahma realm, but somehow because of not attaining enlightenment, so they got reborn again in human world. They end up in Dhamma earth meditating and renounce. So when they see themselves like that, then they see the possibility that my life is capable of going up. Of course, the Buddha said, even that is not the end, not the best. You can go beyond this cycle of birth and death. But first, let's be aware of these possibilities of going to higher life. We don't need to suffer and we don't need to flow along with this game of survival of the fittest. No. We can discard this and tell them, I don't want this nature. I want a higher nature. I don't want to succumb to it. I want a higher nature. I have a choice. And the choice is mine, in my hands. How? When you practice dependent origination, see that nature happens, things happen because of conditioning. These arise, this exists, because of this exists. Because this arise, this arise. Because this is not existing, this one also not existing. Because this one vanish, this one also vanish. It looks simple. But when you know this nature covering wider spectrum of realms and space and time, then your understanding becomes very different. Especially you know how you came to be reborn as a human, as a man, as a woman, and what causes this? What caused this? There are a few conditions. Our craving, our ignorance, our attachment, our karma, and our formations. And all these conditions shape our present life. So now, if you do like that, you shine your light. Shine your light. You can't do that. Everyone, try. Then if you practice deep concentration, cultivate this light, inner light, then you can see from here to the mother's womb and back through the mother's womb to the previous. Before you get reborn in the mother's womb, the first moment, what is the before? Then you see into past lives. And many people are mistaken about this. They say past life is not important, past is past. We care about the present moment only. No. Our history tells us a lot of reality of life, a lot of truth of life. Really. For example, if someone only has no memory, no history in the mind, only present moment, you may not even realize why someone punch you. You may go around and punch that person, then you forget about, let's say we have some being like that, and forget about that moment immediately, then the person punch him back. A will punch B and the B punch back. Then A will say, wow, why you punch me? Because he has no memory of the past. He couldn't see the cause and effect, couldn't see the mistake is his. But when you see a longer time frame, then you see the cause and effect. You see the problem actually mine. The cause of the suffering is actually mine. Nowadays, many people don't believe or barely believe, half believe that there is a cause and effect. Really, many Buddhists also half believe only. Cause and effect. Is there cause and effect? They have doubt. So when you do good, you tend to have some kind of stinginess remain, right? I better don't. How do I know? You want to do good just to play safe, so that I have some insurance for my future. But at the same time, sometimes the stinginess there. Why? Because there's not fully convinced and not fully having real confidence in the law of cause and effect. And this lack of faith, lack of real understanding of cause and effect manifests in so many aspects of our life. So many aspects of our life. Our hesitation to do good, our unwillingness to bear unpleasant objects and unpleasant experience happen to our life. But for people who have to see clearly what causes produce what result, then they are fully convinced. As convinced as there is a sun and moon in the sky and the stars. As clear as that, as convinced as that. There's no more belief. That faith, that confidence is no more belief kind of confidence. That confidence comes from seeing and direct understanding. Then there's no more about the that I know there are other beings, other life, other realm. Not only that. You know yourself that I've gone through this and this and this, and from what reason here, get reborn here, what reason I get this kind of life, this kind of consequences, this kind of result happening in my life. You know surely like that. And then what happened? Your vision towards your future change. Clears out. All the clouds in your mind clears out. You know what the possibilities of life. What is possible for you. Then secondly, because knowing the law of cause and effect, you know what you're capable of and you know how to do it. That's a real confidence. Very often we hear people talk about self-confidence because you need to remember, even when you're down, you have to remember, once I was great. And thinking that, oh, I have achieved this, achieved that. And to boost up the confidence that way. But what happens if your karma is low? Low karma, weak karma is ripening. Especially continues for some time. Then you lose the confidence about life. But not for such a person or yogi who sees reality. Because someone who sees reality, the confidence doesn't rely on how well you perform. Even in you're down and out, even in the lowest period of your life, you have that confidence that natural law exists. Possibility of life is still there. It is not changing just because now your karma goes low. No. You know the natural law there is still there, as true as ever. All you need to do is just fulfill the causes and change. Just fulfill the causes and change. So that kind of confidence is the most worthy and reliable confidence for our life. Because of the vision. Because of the vision into reality, only possibility of life, into the law of nature, natural laws, especially the law of cause and effect. That confidence arise in you. Even though your job may not be finished yet, but you know where you are heading, and you know how to lead towards it, to move towards it. So the Buddha tell us about these possibilities, but the Buddha is not finding faith through Dhamma. Yeah, there's a one stage, but finding vision. Because the Buddha said, hey, Pasiko, come and see. So once we have that vision, this vision is very useful, very assuring, and very powerful. It's the backbone of our life. So, we move towards this. We know, once you have assured, your mind has no more doubt, you know your possibilities, then you have a vision into future. That is one aspect only. But we don't practice Dhamma only for future life. In fact, the more you care about your future lives, the more you need to care about your current life, your present life. Because without taking care of our present life, it is useless, futile to talk about future life. Because future cannot be assured if our present life, we cannot even take care of this present life. So what about our vision into our present life? 1 year, 5 years, 10 years ahead. I heard many people tell me, Bhante, I want to do this, I want to do that, I plan this, I plan that, and when I come to this age, I want to be like you. I'll be a monk. I want to meditate and be a meditation teacher even. One of my disciples in Guangdong told me the same. Planning. I say, do you know how long you live? Do you know how long you live? If you don't know how long you live, how are you going to plan? You think you have time, but are you sure? You don't know. So, if you want to do this, there's another way. We call Maranusati, recollection of death. There's one way of practice is to see, not only seeing I will die, all other people, this is also correct. Recollection of death, being aware that one day I will die, all our beings will die, I will die. Life is uncertain, death is certain. Aduang jivitang duang maranang. And you can do all these things. And then you can practice to see that when you die, yeah, it is possible. You can see, some people can see up to, I will die at the age of 84 or something. Yeah. Or 85, 90, 100, or 70, or even 10 years later, I will die. Now, of course, when we talk about future is not fixed. But more or less, but it can be changed. Future is not fixed. You look into the past, it's always the same. And it just gets clearer, but you cannot change. But look into the future, you can change. If you're not satisfied with your future, then you can make a determination to change it. For example, you enter 4th jhana, or enter into the vipassana jhana up to, let's say, Sangha Upeka jhana or something. Then you emerge from it and make a determination and want to change it. Provided your merits are sufficient, you can change your future. If you have that vision. Okay? And you can, then afterwards, you can decide how I want to marry, how I want to take care of my life. And then, at what stage of my life, what I want to do. You're more sure about it. But still, there's not 100%. There's not 100% guarantee. If you happen to do something very severely wrong, then it can be fatal. And if you do something very good, then life can change. It can change, but within certain range of changeability. Within certain range of changeability. Okay? Then some people say, well, is it difficult? Frankly speaking, it's not difficult. You just need to have concentration. Okay? Then let's say, you say, well, I'm not even come to that yet. How am I going to have a better vision about my present life with Dhamma? When we talk about vision, we talk about a time frame, right? We talk about a time frame. So when there's a time frame, we always see some cause and effect. So, but it's more difficult. The shorter time frame you have in your mind, it is more difficult to have a clear vision. Because just as I told you, if someone only have a 1 second memory or just present moment, you can't even remember the last second, then how he punched others. Then he got a punch, he said, well, he felt so innocent. Why I get a punch? In fact, many people's life are like that, but not in that extreme example, 1 second. But let's say 20 years. If 20 years of bad karma not yet ripened, if you, oh, I'm so free, I can do all of that without consequences. And some people can say, well, I've done all the good, but no good result come to me yet. Because the memory is short. And the time frame in our mind is short. Because some causes and effect takes a longer time frame to produce the result. You see? Yeah, not every fruit produce fruits. Not every fruit tree produce fruit in the same time frame. Some 6 months, some 10 years, 5 years, Same like our karma. So this is important. So when you have, of course, if you have a vision towards into your future lives, the possibility of future lives, it is very helpful for you to have a vision for your present life and have a vision of what you want to do now. But let's say you don't have such a long vision, even for life, how long you live, then you have a clearer vision. But let's say put it shorter. Put it shorter. Okay, let's say you just imagine, without having certainty, you imagine that can you live more than 100, 120? Not easy, right? Generally, the longest, you live up to 100 years old, 110, 105, right? So you more or less you can see the human lifespan, the possibility of human lifespan. Then you can see what you can do at this stage, What is the prime of a life? The period where you can really make good use, actually very short. Think of it, very short. Not many people can quarrel until 90 years old. 90 over years still can quarrel, Only rare personality like that with clear mind to quarrel. I'm sure you know. Then otherwise, most people don't have that. Your life is short. You don't have the energy. Coming to the lower part, you don't have energy. So actually, the time when we really can make good use of our physical strength and let our mind to work on is very short. So think about it up to, let's say, 60 or 65. Some people can meditate well up to 70, still good, but not easy anymore. Recently, we have a nun. She was 86 years old. She came to attend our novitiate program just a few days ago. Just changed and went back. 86 years old. Not easy to move around, sit in a chair, but good spirit. Can still help herself with food and whatever. So we ordained her. But you can see her difficulty. With such a person with good health, consider good health for her age. Very good health for her age. But you cannot do much already. Cannot do much. So we have to rule out, maybe after 70 years old, efficiency to cultivate the mind is no more so strong. So look at this shorter period. Okay, assuming you are very optimistic people, very confident of your strength, of your vitality. Okay, 70. Now, how old are you? Ask yourself, how many years you have? And what is your potential for concentration, for wisdom? So you look at it that way, you can see clearer what you should do, how you should cherish here and now. Do you really have faith in the Buddha's teaching? If you really have faith, you wouldn't allow your mind to be distracted by pettiness. You know? Yeah, recently one of our devotee, a lady, she's I think 60s, in her 60s, say, I cannot let go of my son. I said, how old is your son? Yeah, already married, bearing grandchildren for me, and something in the 30s, between 30 to 40. I say, wow, that is an adult. Is he living good life? Yes. No problem. And why are you worrying? No, the mother is so attached to the son. And nothing wrong with the son. Still good life, healthy, living normally, but the mother cannot let go. I said, come and meditate. Because of the son. Very strange, huh? Sometimes the mother loves the son, I think more than the love, I think, maybe. I don't know. So you see, that holding on. But how much time you have some more? Not easy to meet the Buddha's teaching. Not easy to meet the practice where we can still, practice and receive the fruits of Dhamma, the benefits here and now. So let's keep this vision into this short frame of future clearly in our mind, so that we have a sense of priority, what is important, what is more important, and what is very urgent. In fact, it's very urgent. The Buddha used the simile to King Pasenadi. The Buddha asked King Pasenadi, suppose now there's a messenger coming from the east, very quickly come and rush to you, great king. I see the great mountain rolling towards this direction. Run. Then another messenger from the west come around and rush to you say the same thing. The mountain is crushing on you. Run, great king. Then someone from the north come to tell you the same thing, and someone from the south tell you the same thing. All four directions, the great mountain are crushing on you. Run, great king. What will you do? Then King Pasenadi say, what can I do? It comes from all four directions crushing on me. What can I do? Just be mindful of the Dhamma. Then the Buddha said, yes, now I declare to you this reality, that this birth is crushing on you, old age is crushing on you, sickness is crushing on you, and death is crushing on you. More than the four great mountains. What you should do? Yeah, what can I do? Bhante, just to stay in here and now and remember the Dhamma. That is a simile used, the metaphor used by our Lord Buddha. Just remember, really very short life. In fact, the Buddha even related the old story of a great king in the ancient time, where the human lifespan have about 5 or 6, few thousand years old. Human lifespan was so long, human few thousand years old. And then at that time there's a king telling his people, please meditate, practice Dhamma. Life is so short. Very soon we die. Strive on. Remember the Dhamma. Practice. Do good. Then the Buddha told the audience that at that time, human lifespan a few thousand years. The king has such a sense of urgency and instill this sense of urgency in his population, his people, telling them how short life is. And now what is our lifespan? 100 years average. So isn't it we should be even more urgent and try hard in the Dhamma? Really. And now our lifespan is shorter than 100. Generally. Generally shorter than 100. Now they count the human lifespan increasing. That is by avoiding the childbirth mistake, whatever. Then they say because and then prolong the life artificially, So because of that we feel, oh, now the human lifespan is increasing. No. During the Buddha's time, 100 years average. And now it's shorter than that. And going to be shorter and shorter. Put aside the increase of lifespan due to, saving of the babies or whatever. No, not like that. Look at human lifespan. So, we no longer we don't hear many people live up to 100 years anymore nowadays. 80, 90s, that's the most, 80, 70 over. So let's feel a sense of urgency and be aware of what is coming to us. Frankly speaking, I feel some sense of urgency, especially after last year. 1st of January 2023, last year, I was so strong, living in the Himalaya, so strong. I could take food 2 days once, and then alone in the cave, cold, okay, I could endure. But when the sickness struck on the 2nd of January, everything changed. Bell palsy. And even today, I don't fully recover. I got a bell palsy, not fully recovered. It's a severe one, not fully recovered. That's why people ask me, are you going to Himalaya this year, end of the year? I say, no. I don't think I can take it, that kind of coldness yet. I have not fully recovered. I don't run the risk. You see? I have a sense of urgency. I feel old age is coming. I'm only 56. Some people say only 56, but for me it's past half already. I feel a sense of urgency. I would like to share with you that sense of urgency as well. In fact, some of you should feel even more urgent than myself. At least I'm more, I'm quite certain about where I'm heading and what should I do to head towards that direction. But just now, so few of you raise your hands. Of course, some people are shy to raise their hand. In fact, there are more among you all are sure about your life, but some are shy. They don't want to raise, But this is important. So now we are all fortunate people. We have come to the Dhamma. Let's cherish this opportunity and don't squander every moment that we can spend to plant a seed in our life. At least, if not liberation in this life, at least plant a seed for liberation for future. Otherwise, even when you meet Metteyya Buddha, you will say Metteyya Buddha will be helpless, don't know how to help you. So that is my message for today. So we can find our vision. In fact, this sense of vision, this vision is not only good for future. When you have a clear sense, clear vision into your life, you see the change, you see the difference in here and now, how you live up the present moment. That quality of life, our life, how you regard life, now change. We don't teach Dhamma for future lives only, no. We don't make effort only for future life only. We make effort for now. We want to improve our quality of life now. But it's all related. Now and future, all related. So when we have a vision, we know how to take care of our here and now. When we know how to take care of here and now, our future is assured. And this, the Dhamma can raise up our awareness to that level so that we no longer suffer this kind of uncertainty and doubt and what I should do. Am I choosing the right thing? Am I on the right path? All this uncertainty, doubt will be removed. And this alone is happiness. Just this thing alone is happiness. A kind of a real sense of security. So, brothers and sisters, I wish you all the best and well, and so good. It's nice to see you all here. Coming to Babs again is always a pleasant experience for me, and having this opportunity to share with you the thoughts of my heart, of my mind, and hopefully it will be beneficial for you. And may you always be healthy and have a bright mind and have peace of mind, happiness. And yeah, it's not wrong to be happy, please. Not wrong to be happy. Many people think life is suffering, why you are happy? No, not like that. In fact, in the Dhammapada, you see the Buddha says, the Buddha says, we are the happiest. We are happy. Happy is not wrong. Not wrong. In fact, the Buddha brought our attention to the reality of life, which is suffering, is to help us. It was actually meant to guide us out of suffering. So if they say Buddhism is a pessimistic religion, sorry, wrong. The Buddha did not only teach suffering, he taught the cause of suffering, he taught the cessation of suffering, which is a hope, great hope. Only with the Buddha we know there's a hope, such a hope, there's a way out. Without the Buddha's teaching, there's no way out. You can hide and not ignore and try to pretend you don't see suffering, but suffering is still there. You can pretend there's no death, but there's death. So the Buddha gave us the way, cessation of suffering, and the way leading the cessation of suffering. So this is really realistic. The Buddha is not pessimistic, not optimistic, it's realistic. There's the reality, and then at the same time, in reality, there's also a chance to get out. Okay? So I wish you happiness. And in fact, there's a lot of happiness when you penetrate suffering. If you can penetrate suffering deeply, then the more you understand suffering, the more you transcend it, the more you slightly rise from it. Okay? And wish you happiness and always have good health and progress in the Dhamma.